Let's talk about another kind of growth. Now, people who visit our city always think about our casinos, our shopping, our restaurants. But those of us who live here know that we have great parks and open spaces. Have you ever stopped to think about how we as a city landscape those parks? Well, we could shop at a commercial nursery, but we discovered a couple of years ago it's a lot easier on the wallet if you grow your own. When you take in one of our beautiful city parks, a lot of what you see here as far as shade trees, shrubs, and other plant life actually got its start right here. And Brad Dossler is one of the city employees who is responsible for making things grow. This is one of 2 city nurseries. He says growing our own trees and bushes was something we started just a couple of years ago.
The nursery came about as sort of a temporary project to hold trees for planting projects in the park. And as you can see, it's expanded from here. It was probably a third of this size when we started. And then we've expanded to this whole run of trees down here. And we actually have a second nursery at the East Service Center as well.
It may come as a surprise that the city of Las Vegas even has nurseries, much less an Urban Forrester overseeing them. But there are many advantages to cultivating trees as opposed to purchasing them, starting with saving money. When you have more than 80 parks, new ones always coming on board, and renovations at older parks, it can cost a lot of money to buy mature vegetation.
So with us buying younger trees, we can get a sapling for $5 or $6 or a smaller pot for $20, where a large commercially available tree could cost thousands of dollars, and generally does from contractors and once you get everyone involved.
Brad says by growing our own, the city also has a better handle on the quality of the plants.
We can ensure that we have a good root system. Most of the problems that we see in trees come from deformed or wrapping or girdling roots that restrict the tree and kind of will make it less healthy, make it less safe for the public, and so we can control that aspect of the growing process.
So this is how it typically works. When a new park is designed or an older park is renovated, the city will get concept designs from landscape architects, but the final say in what types of trees and shrubs go in that design rests with the city. Another advantage to growing our own is that we can diversify the species. A wider variety of trees prevents the city from being stuck with something that, for whatever reason, stops working in our environment.
Like say we get excited about a tree like ash trees and we plant 10,000 of them, and they represent a big part of our inventory. If something happens in 15 years where ash trees aren't resilient out here anymore, they get an insect, then that's a significant financial loss to the city. And if we can kind of buffer that by having a lot of different species, that's really great for us.
As for adhering to our city's sustainability commitment, Brad and the Parks and Recreation staff keep a close eye on landscaping that is not too thirsty in the summer and can still withstand some cold nights in the winter. And they've taken other steps, such as changing from wooden plant containers like this, which are discarded after use, to heavy-duty plastic ones like this, which are reusable. A couple of years ago, when the nursery took root, it became clear relying on our own talented staff for homegrown plants is the financially and environmentally smart thing to do.
We have trees with good roots and we have a diverse tree canopy, then those trees are going to last 50, 60, 80 years, and that investment becomes incredibly valuable at the end, where if we're replacing trees because they're of poor quality or something like that, then we're kind of spinning our wheels. If every 5 or 8 years we're having to replace a tree, we're really not getting anywhere.
When you look at all those tall trees, you may wonder how long it takes for them to grow that high. Well, a typical tree can gain about 5 or 6 feet in 1 year. Even oaks, which are considered slow growing, can gain about 4 feet.